And you got me that way, and I'm wondering if I came on too strong. Walking side by side and backwards down the stairs.
Welcome back, everybody. The Blue Collar Business Podcast. Here we are again, episode 15?
15.
I think I'm going to stop counting because I don't really care anymore. We're just so deep.
BCBP is going strong.
It's incredible. Well, this show, it's about how me and Grant, we're twin brothers. We live in Phoenix. Both of us went from, $16 an hour to $60 an hour now? And we did it by starting our own service business, and it's been awesome. We love it. So our whole show is about how basically if we can do it, you can do it. So we want to motivate people to do what we did and maybe make some more money, maybe free up your schedule a little bit more by being an entrepreneur. And we're not really entrepreneurs. It doesn't really feel like that. You know what I mean? Like, it feels a lot more relaxed than that. When you say entrepreneur, I think these people out there hustling and like going crazy and all this risk and all. And there's not a lot of risk in service industries because most of your money is labor. So there's not huge like things you have to purchase. I mean, you have to buy some tools, but it's not insane.
Yeah,
so
it's
the
more
risk
just
isn't
like
as
encouragement that, you can just throw something together like I did and it can make it work. And make good money.
Yeah, we're literally throwing stuff together. It's not like we had a grand scheme.
I just had a truck full of tools and just made a business out of it.
Yeah, something I was thinking about this week is like it's not even just the fact that we make way more than we did before. Like, the money's awesome, but it's also like I really enjoy the flexibility of my job.
Yeah.
And that is really valuable to people. Maybe you're getting paid really well in the job you're at now, but you're working a lot and you want to be more available for your family and more available to go on trips and do whatever you want. And if that's a priority to you as well, like, that has monetary value. Maybe you want to take, I don't even think it's a pay cut if you want to do this and do it well. Like, you can make real money, but you could also free up your schedule and make it a lot more in your hands, which to me is super huge. And I think to a lot of people who maybe want to focus on different things, that would be massive.
Mm-hmm.
We got an exciting episode today. I'm pretty pumped about this one.
Oh, great.
I'm going to talk about some business developments on my end, which would be cool. And I made some cool discoveries researching for this episode, so I think you'll enjoy it.
Cool. Ready to hear it.
And got a great final question, so we're in for a treat today. Me and Grant did a promo event this week.
Oh, yes, we did.
You want to talk about that, Grant?
Yeah, that was fun. Went out into the downtown Phoenix heat for a baseball
blazing
game.
hot.
Yeah, it was hot. But we were handing out free waters if you subscribed to our podcast or just took a business card. Not a lot of people really wanted to take the time to subscribe, so we just handed out cards about it. But yeah, it was kind of fun.
Yeah, I had
Got to see
a lot of fun,
people.
actually. It was cool. So if you're new, welcome. If you met us at the promo event,
Yeah,
that's
welcome.
awesome.
D-backs lost, unfortunately, but they beat the Braves a couple
Oh,
days.
they didn't even check.
Couple days later.
We went to a D-backs game, but to be honest, I don't really watch baseball ever. So, sorry, guys. I wanted to mention, we met this guy that was kind of annoying. You remember him?
I do remember him. Yeah, he was annoying.
I just felt like we needed to mention him. Grant was like, after he was talking our ear off for like
He just like
5
wanted
minutes.
to stop talking.
And then when he left, Grant's like, I think he definitely did a line of cocaine before he talked
He
to us.
definitely was on something. He seemed like kind of mad at nobody, and then but also was like really into business.
Yeah.
It was weird. I
He
wanted
was
him to leave.
talking about how he has this business where he installs locks on doors in hotels, and that's all he does. And it's not like he hires people, but he hates hiring people because he doesn't like them.
He
and
also
they
said
suck.
he hired people for like $10 an hour or something. He's like, all these sissy boys don't want to work. I'm like, it's something you're not really paying them a lot.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, no wonder you can't find people. You're not paying them. Yeah, he was annoying. So if you're listening to the show, sorry, we don't like you. Also, I was gone the last couple of weeks. That's why we skipped a week, unfortunately. But hopefully going forward, we'll be pretty consistent. Get an episode out every Monday. Hey, I was gone for 2 weeks. Got to see some family, some friends in Pennsylvania. My wife's from Pennsylvania, so that was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Oh, I had a couple of things I want to mention from that trip. One of them was we have these friends out there who recently got a house, and it's this beautiful house out in the middle of Pennsylvania. And the guy who they bought it from was a carpenter, I think. And so he did like everything in their house custom. Like, it's really, really cool. But there's one thing he did wrong. Like, he did everything perfect in this house.
Like you did like custom cabinets and stuff, or
Yeah, the not the kitchen cabinets, but all the other cabinets are custom. Like, there's beautiful molding and trim everywhere. Like, it's really cool. But he did this one thing that drives me crazy when I'm there, is he put the door, like the door trim around like a bedroom door, like that little thin piece that the door kind of closes onto.
yeah.
Well, he installed those wrong, and so you can't close the door all the way. Like, it just gets stuck on those. Like, the door closes on top of it, and so you can't even close the doors all the way. You have to like yank it shut.
Oh, it's like it just sticks, or like it was just done
and it's like on
completely wrong?
all the doors.
That's really annoying.
And I'm like, how
does a carpenter
how did he do this? And how did he not fix it?
Yeah.
So that is mind-boggling. So that was a lesson to be learned. Like, don't neglect the little things like that, or
It might just be a problem in that area. That's what, when I was doing some work in Delaware, I had to fix some doors that were stuck like that too.
Really. People
Also,
don't understand.
That does happen in the summer and it's humid. Doors do expand, so.
Oh yeah, but it's been like
But
that
yeah, I mean,
every time I'm there.
It shouldn't stick that bad though, and it's
Yeah.
an easy fix. So,
Yeah, don't neglect stuff like that, or that's all people are going to remember.
yeah.
Oh, another thing. So there's some old neighbors of my in-laws that we visited just for a little bit, and they have twin daughters, and they're fraternal twins. And I was kind of like, I feel like fraternal twins are fake twins. You know what I mean? Like, they look like completely different people.
Oh, yeah.
But they're like, we're twins. And I'm like, no, you're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they don't
Like,
look
it doesn't count.
exactly the same. It's like, yeah, they don't really feel like twins exactly.
Yeah, so I just want to say that if you're fraternal twins, we don't want you to listen to the show. I think you're a joke. So I needed to make a note of that.
You're just siblings born at the same time.
Yeah, it's really no different than like our brothers who are like less than a year apart.
Yeah, you're just closer
guess
than
not
the
quite
Irish
less.
twins.
Yeah, lame. Oh, another thing I want to ask you, Grant, that I was thinking about before we get into the meat of the episode was, do you have a calendar? Because I put all my like appointments and jobs on my Google Calendar, and I'm like, I wonder how Grant keeps track of stuff.
I will if it's like something like a month or so out. But usually I just, as soon as I finish a project, I'm on to the next one. So I just have a list of like what order I'm finishing these projects in, and then
Wow,
that's about it.
just a list
Well,
on
it's
like notes. In your
I'm
phone?
not like crazy busy. I don't have like a ton of different clients all at the same time. So
Yeah.
I feel like you have a lot of more clients. I usually do like a job for like a week or so, and then I move on to the next one. So there's like not that many lined up in a row anyway.
So you don't have a calendar.
No, I do, but like, yeah, I don't actually schedule that many things in my calendar. I just kind of write it down in a note.
Wow, I don't know how you survive. I could not live a week without my calendar. It's like my lifeblood. That's incredible that you're able to survive without it.
I feel like it's not that incredible, but I
Wow.
think we just maybe have slightly different businesses. So,
Maybe that's it.
or I'm sure I'm probably doing it wrong, but
What
works
I didn't
for
want to
me.
say it, but I think you should change that probably. That's why I asked, because I thought that would be the answer, and I just thought it was amazing.
Yep, that's the answer.
Another thing you told me last night, I think, you told me your drill broke.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was
That's a
asking if you
shame.
wanted some of my old batteries.
You went through 2 rigid drills?
Yeah.
I usually trust rigid.
Well, they were good drills. I do put them through a lot of work. They're hammer drills, so like I feel like that
Oh,
puts
yeah.
a lot more.
Yeah, that's true.
They take more of a beating because I'll like drill in the concrete with it sometimes. But they only lasted a few years, and this is the second one I got. Unfortunately, Rigid does have a lifetime warranty.
I was going to ask you, I'm like, why didn't you just get them replaced by rigid?
Yeah, you have to have the receipt,
Oh, my goodness.
and like I think
you
the
didn't
box
register
with
them?
it. I didn't register either of them.
Wow. That's sad.
Yeah, it was a real oversight by me.
Definitely. Now you've gone through two.
Yeah.
You must be really beating
And
yourself
neither
up.
of them I could get the warranty. So I
What are
tried
you
to
buying
look it
now?
up, see if there's any way around the receipt thing, but no,
There's no way.
it's over.
What are you going to buy next?
Yeah, I was looking at. Do you ever watch Project Farm? The guy like does tool reviews on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, the autistic guy who just tests tools to their limits.
He's
I love
like
it.
so specific. He tests out everything the girl
amazing.
can do. So I
Yeah,
watched
check
the-
him out, everybody.
Yeah, he's fantastic. So I watched a video by him on good hammer drills. It looked like Milwaukee was the best one. Makita was good, and DeWalt was good. But I don't have any Makita stuff. I do have Milwaukee batteries and DeWalt batteries, so I'm going to go with
Yeah.
one of those. I think I'm just going to be done with the rigid, unfortunately. No, it wasn't bad, but it just didn't last. So
Yeah, that's weird. Okay. Moving on to the next segment of the episode. What have we been working on?
I just finished up a backsplash that took a few days. Just like a subway tile. Came out pretty nice.
How big was the kitchen? Like, was it a lot?
It was a big
square feet?
kitchen. The backsplash I did was, I don't know, maybe like, it was like maybe like a couple 18 inches in height, and then maybe like 25 linear feet or so.
Wait, was this
So it wasn't
this job,
huge.
Was this that job you stole from me?
Did I steal it? What?
He didn't really steal it.
Oh.
There was somebody who was talking. They texted
I do
both of
remember
us.
this, yeah.
Like, are you free to do this? I said yes. You said yes. They went with you. I was a little bitter.
Is that what happened?
Nah, I think it is. Well, I think it was like I was out of town for the last 2 weeks. So
Okay.
I think it kind of went with you.
They
because
may
it
have
was more convenient.
wished they went with you because I've been taking so long on this.
Oh, you're not done yet?
No, well, I'm done with the backsplash. I'm done with everything. I'm just going there tomorrow to. I had some touch up paint I need to fix up on the. I also did the island cabinets. I painted those.
Oh,
So there's a
yeah.
couple
You mentioned
spots
that
I
on
wanted
the show last
to
time.
touch up. That was the last thing I'm going to do there. So I'm pretty much done. But
Got it.
I started it a long time ago. It seems like.
Well, at least you're wrapping it up now.
Yeah. Also, yeah, I didn't talk about this because I don't think. Yeah, I think I was in the middle of it before we did the last podcast. But to paint that thing, the islands, was crazy.
Uh-oh.
I was trying to do it while they were out of town because I had to spray it. I wanted to spray it. It was the way I thought would be the best way to paint it.
Yeah, I feel like that looks the best. on
Rather than
cabinets.
rolling it, it's like a much smoother finish. But it was kind of tough because I have to do some touch up because there's a few drips because
Oh,
there's like
no.
a bunch of corners
The
that I
dreaded
just
drips.
had to overspray in these corners to get them filled in.
Yeah.
So, but the touch up shouldn't be too bad. But anyway,
did you do to
spraying
fix
this thing
it?
was a nightmare because it was there's two of them. They're 11 feet long. They're
Whoa.
gigantic. There's like 26 doors on each of them. So I had to paint all the doors. And then to actually spray the thing, the prep work I did took 3 days. Just to prep
like the plastic and all,
the
and tape?
plastic. I had to cover every door opening, and there's 26 of them. I had to, cover the whole floor thoroughly because it's really nice wood floor. I did not want to get paint on the floor. And then I had to
Holy
set up
cow.
this giant tent of plastic over everything. I had to hang rope from the walls just to hold it because the ceiling was like 30 feet high, so I couldn't attach it to the ceiling.
What were you thinking?
It was a nightmare. I knew it was going to take a lot, and I knew it was going to take a long time, but I did not imagine how long it would take me. In order to get the job done before they got back in town, because their kitchen was unusable. It was covered in a
You had a
plastic tent. So I had to be done before they got back because
Yeah.
they couldn't even use their house. They couldn't even walk from the garage to their living room because it was blocking that whole
Yikes.
area off. So I had to be done. So I worked throughout an entire night on like a Thursday night. I worked for like 36 hours straight.
What?
Just to get it done.
No way.
It was no good.
How many coffees did you drink?
I bought a couple Red Bulls, and
Okay.
I went through my coffee earlier that morning, and then I had to go to the store and buy Red
What
Bulls.
takeout did you buy?
I went to the store. I bought like just some snack food. I bought like chips and guac, and I had this stuff I make for lunch, just like chicken and rice. So I had some of that, but
You had to get some survival food too.
Yeah, just to sustain myself. It was too much.
36 hours. That might be
Yeah.
a record.
Yeah, I was not very good.
I like how I started this show talking about how you can be a little more flexible in your job and
Yeah.
work less hours. And you pulled a 36-hour day.
Yeah, well, you can. I'm sure you could find a better way to do it than I've been doing it sometimes, but
It doesn't always have to look
unfortunately,
like that.
sometimes you just got to get a job done, and
That's true.
there's
Sometimes
no way
you get
around
in a
it.
bind, and it's just
Yeah.
like, I got to work until 10 p.m. That does happen.
Yeah. Anyway, it looked nice.
That's exciting. Are you happy with how it turned out?
I am. Yeah, it looked really good, but just it was a mess.
Well, I'm glad then that I didn't take that on.
Yeah, I think you should be. The backsplash went fine. That was all right. That wasn't too bad.
Yesterday was great. That was like the business developments that I want to talk about. Is we mentioned in the show a few episodes how we could become a little more efficient in our businesses, and that was something I really wanted to do. And the main thing for me was like cutting down on time at Home Depot and really like lining people up in an efficient way. So I'm not like, I have a job at 10, I'll finish at 12, and then I have like an hour break before I have my next job at 2. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to be like have things stacked in like an efficient schedule. And yesterday went like super well. So I did that. I had a little bit of a break between a coffee appointment I had with somebody in the morning and my job starting at 9, or I had an estimate at 9. And so I went to Home Depot for that hour after coffee and before my estimate. And I just bought everything I needed for the day because I had like a pretty stacked day. And I just bought everything that I needed so I wouldn't have to run to Home Depot when I was at the jobs,
Yep.
which is how I usually do it. I'm just like, when I get there, I'll see what it's like, and then I'll buy what I need. But I
Yeah,
was like,
and then
I'm going to
those-
try and anticipate what I need and buy it now.
Yeah, I try to do that sometimes. Just like first thing in the morning, I go to the Home Depot by my house because it's not too far away. Rather than like
Yeah.
going to the job and then I have to drive there and back, and it just adds a lot of time.
Yeah. So that was great. I got everything. And then I had an estimate at 9. That was pretty simple. And then I went to a job at 10. And I did a lot of things there. I was fixing the wiring on the oven, had short-circuited, so I had to redo the wiring on the oven. And then I was installing a disposal and replumbing the drain because I got a new sink. And then I fixed their toilet. So I did a lot of things that job. And then right after that, I had to run to another job in Tempe. And there I installed a bathroom fan. I installed new weathering on the garage door. And I installed an outlet on the island.
Dang, all this in one day?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
And it went great. Like it was exactly what I was hoping for. And I didn't have to go to Home Depot. It was awesome. So I was just like, this is working. Like that was kind of what I was trying to start
Right.
doing and implementing in my business, and being a little bit more efficient with my schedule and more efficient with my time spent at Home Depot and stuff like that. And it really worked well.
That's great.
I made $750 yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good day.
It was a great day.
Nice, dude.
So yeah, hoping to make that more of a pattern than an exception.
So like you didn't run into any issues where things took like an hour longer than they should have?
There was,
That's
you know,
hard to
actually I
avoid that
forgot.
kind of
I did
stuff.
have to run to Home Depot because I tried to buy everything I needed, but then there was a problem plumbing the disposal, and I had to get a different P-trap size because it was
Okay.
different than I had anticipated. So that was kind of a bummer, but luckily they were like right next to Home Depot, so it was only a 30-minute detour.
Sweet.
Or 30 minutes out of my day, when usually it's like a bit longer. So that was a little bit annoying, like that happens, but yeah, at least that was all. So yeah, it was a great day.
I mean, $750. That's
Yeah, if I could make that every day, that'd be awesome.
That's good money.
I don't think that's gonna happen every day, but it was great. I was working for another guy too, doing some drywall, and while I was there, he plays. I've worked for him before, and he plays podcasts and music on all of his Amazon devices throughout the house. So just wherever he is, he can listen to something. Like every room, there's one. And so he turned on Joe Rogan interviewing Tony Hinchcliffe.
Oh, fun.
And so I was like, oh, I was just going to listen to this. He was like, okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if I should do this, but I was like, yeah, you're fine.
That's great.
That was funny.
I think a lot of people listen to that show. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think he
funny.
probably should have just realized that I wouldn't have minded because it's,
Yeah.
it's just pretty normal. Well, let's get into the episode. This week, I want to talk about Home Depot credit cards, Lowe's credit cards. There's like loyalty programs out there. Oh, you know, one I didn't look up was like Harbor Freight. I know they don't have a lot of materials, but they have a lot of tools.
Yeah.
And they have like a membership that you can
do.
do.
Okay.
I didn't really look into that.
Or like Ace. Did you look? I've never looked in if Ace has anything.
Ace, I never go to Ace.
I don't go. I've been to Ace like a handful of times ever. So yeah, I don't go there very often.
Okay. Well, what I did research on was Lowe's and Home Depot because those are the big ones. And I found some interesting things. So both of them have a credit card. I want to focus first on the Home Depot credit card. And our goal with this is just to kind of give people information of if you're going to start this business, if you're doing a business like ours, should you consider this? Is it worth the time, the effort, the opportunity cost to get one of these cards or to join one of these memberships? So, and I'm not in either of these memberships, and I don't think you are either.
No.
And you don't have either card, right?
No, I don't.
So, yeah, maybe we'll change our minds going through this episode.
Okay.
I was researching it, and actually, I think I'm going to do the Home Depot membership. So,
Sweet.
yeah, this will be helpful. So, the Home Depot credit card, there's a credit card and there's like a pro membership. I'm going to start with the credit card. So, the pros of this card that I found
For the credit card?
for the credit card. Yeah. I asked a couple clients of mine who, I asked our old boss because she had one
Oh yeah.
when she was doing the investing and the flipping. And just to get her take on if it was worth it. And then I had another client who does some investing and he hires a lot of people to work for him. So he had a Home Depot credit card. And so I asked them like their take on it, and they were not like amazing reviews. So I was like, okay, this is
so
promising.
Just I guess off the bat, I looked up like you told me what the episode was going to be, so I searched just like a basic Google search, and I found like I forget what website it was, like Nerd Wallet or something. They like cover like financial stuff and like credit cards. They ranked the Home Depot credit card a 2 out of 5 stars.
Oh man!
And then they ranked the Lowe's one a 4 out of 5 stars. So, anyway,
so
it sounded like the Lowe's one was better, but I don't know what the deals
it does
were.
seem that's kind of what I found too. Is that the Lowe's one was better? The Home Depot credit card is kind of not a great idea.
Okay,
in my opinion. So, like, I'll say the positives of it first, and then the negatives. Apparently, they have like a whole year period for when you can return things. So, like, usually it's 90 days. If you buy something at Home Depot, you can return it within 90 days. But if you have the card, you have a whole year.
Yeah.
And
that
I was
does
like,
happen. Has that happened to you? I've had that happen to me a couple times with something I forgot to return, and it had been too long. But they usually just give me store credit.
Yeah, well, that was the thing.
Which I go to the store all the time, so it doesn't matter to me. Like, I'll just use that store credit card.
Yeah.
And it's the exact same thing.
That's exactly what I found. I was like, that's cool, but there's been several times where I've been past the 90 days and they let me return it anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I've
maybe
run
it's
into
not a
that
big
as
deal.
well. They didn't even
I
give
had
me
one
store
that was
credit.
like
They
2
just put
years
it back
old.
on my card. Yeah.
I had a hopper that I bought for drywall, and it was literally 2 years old, and I returned it.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay.
I think I mentioned this when I worked at Home Depot, is that the people who work in the customer service, they also like, I don't think they like that position. It seemed like not very fun.
Sure.
So they just
Yeah, it
let
would be
anything
kind of
go.
annoying.
They just don't care. So
Yeah.
they will just accept whatever you give them. Just no hesitations. They'll just give you your money back, and they don't even inspect it.
Well, that was one of the perks of the card, but I think that's kind of null because it doesn't matter. The other perk, well, there's a couple more, is I guess the credit limit is pretty high. Like sometimes credit cards give you a pretty low limit when you first open the card, and it takes a while to get a higher credit limit. But I think from what I've heard, Home Depot starts out pretty high, which is nice for if you want to if you need to make a lot of purchases for a job and buy it on credit so you can get paid later. That would be nice.
Yeah.
They have this deferred interest thing where along with the high credit limit, say you buy $5,000 worth of materials, they apparently won't charge you any interest on that balance for 24 months or 12 months. So they have different promotions. Sometimes they extend it. So I guess that would be nice. I could see how people would be interested in that. The problem with that, though, that I found is that apparently, I forget, there's a term for it, but the way they do the card is after that 12 months or 24 months is up and you haven't paid the balance, then they back up all that interest that was accruing then anyway. So then you'll be charged all the interest. It wasn't interest at the time if you paid it in time, but if you didn't pay it in time, then it becomes interest. So
dang. I guess it is a long time. You have plenty of time to pay it off. But
yeah.
If you don't, you really, dang, that's a lot.
That would be rough.
Okay.
But that is another perk, long pay period. And then what I did get from the people I asked about it is they said it was super easy to add users. And so that was super nice for a business account. It's okay, I want this guy to have a card so he can buy stuff.
Right. Yeah, when we did the house flipping, I had my own card.
Yeah,
So
I heard that from both people
must have
that
been
was a
pretty
really
easy.
easy process and that made it super nice. So that's definitely a perk. Because I think with other cards, it's more challenging to add people if they're not family or something. But I think with the Home Depot card, they're more understanding that you're going to be wanting to hire.
That's a good point because we don't have employees, but if I had an employee, I would want them to use my credit card, the pay with my card. But right now I just have my credit card that I pay with. That's just my personal account. So I couldn't really set them up on that account. So
yeah, so that would be nice.
That makes sense.
Definitely, I think that was probably the number one perk, and that's the number one perk I heard from people. The bad things about the Home Depot credit card is one of the people I asked was just get the Costco card instead. It's way better. So it was just other cards out there are way better than this card.
Oh, okay.
That was kind of what his take was.
Yeah.
It's it's nice you can add people, but at the end of the day, the rewards are not good compared to other cards.
Do they have cash back on that card?
Yeah, they do, but I think it's 1%.
Okay.
Whereas some cards
my
are 1.5.
1.5.
It's 5%. Yeah, 1.5. I mean, it's still 1.5 is still better.
Yeah.
And they do give you 5% back on all purchases at Home Depot. But so that's nice. 5% is good, but then everything else you use the card for, it's only 1%. But if you're buying stuff at Home Depot all the time, 5% is pretty good.
I think so. I mean, I didn't really know that. That doesn't sound bad. Yeah, I remember doing the house flipping. Our boss, she used to get free gas all the time because she had points from the Home Depot card.
Oh, that was another thing. I didn't see that on any of the benefits, so I don't know if they still do that.
Oh, maybe they don't.
But that did seem nice. But
I thought it was what? You're
That
not paying for
might have-
gas? That seemed
it might have
perfect.
ended.
Okay.
I was, yeah. Anyway.
I mean, I don't know if it was every time she went to the pump, but I mean, there was a lot of expenses doing that house flipping, so I'm sure she had a lot of points.
Yeah. All right. So that's the Home Depot card. Next, I want to look at the Lowe's credit card. So Lowe's, as you said, you looked at the reviews. Lowe's credit card seemed to be better.
That's what NerdWall was saying.
Yeah. So if you open the card, they have a promotion of anytime you open the card, you get 20% off your purchase, which I think that's pretty common for companies or real. What's the word for?
I don't know what
Realty? No, not realty.
I don't know.
Retailers.
Oh, retail.
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, I think that's common for retailers. If you open their card, you get a discount that day. So they do that.
You go there, get the card, and make a bunch of purchases, and it's just that one time?
Yeah, if I have
Okay.
$100 worth of stuff, and they're like, "Do you want to open the card? You get 20% off today." I'm like, sure. Then I'll get,
to do the card right
Yeah.
then and there and save money.
yeah, then I'll
Okay.
only pay $80. But that that's a one-time thing, and it says the max is the max discount you can get is $100 off. So it's not endless 20% off. It has a limit. So that's something. You also get free shipping on everything you purchase online, which is pretty cool if you have the card.
That does seem good.
Yeah. Another thing you get is they have, I can't remember what the percentage was. I think it was actually also 1% on the card if you bought stuff anywhere else. But the benefits for buying stuff at Lowe's with your Lowe's card were 5% or north of 5%. So it was pretty good.
Every purchase is.
Yeah. And that's like baseline 5% off all purchases at Lowe's. And you can, depending on how much you buy with the card and how long you have the card, that can actually grow. So that was pretty cool. You could potentially get more than 5% if you buy enough stuff. Like if you, within a year, buy like $15,000 worth of stuff at Lowe's, you could actually get a higher percentage discount.
Oh, cool.
So yeah.
That seems like a pretty good one. Did they have cash back too?
Yeah, it's like, from what I saw, it's kind of like a store credit kind of thing. So it wasn't necessarily cash back that you could spend anywhere. It was like cash back to spend at Lowe's.
Okay.
But that's still something, because if you're going to Lowe's a lot, that's still really valuable. The cons of this card, in my opinion, well, one of them is like they have that open the account, you get 20% off promo. There's way better promotions on other cards. Like that's kind of nothing in comparison to like I opened an
like
airline card,
$100,
and we got like $500 worth of airline credits. You know?
Really?
Yeah, like literally $500 worth.
Wow.
And that's pretty common for like travel cards. So that's way better than 20% off, max $100. And the other thing that I thought was a negative of this card is like all the perks of this card are tied directly to Lowe's, which for people in our industry, that's great, because if you're like buying things all the time at Lowe's or Home Depot,
You're gonna spend money
then that's
there
all
anyway.
you care about.
Yeah.
But if you're not making a lot of purchases at Lowe's, then the card's kind of worthless.
Right. You can't just get other stuff with your points. You
Yeah.
can only get money to Lowe's.
Yeah, so that's my summary of the credit cards for those. I think, to me, Lowe's seems a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean the 5% is nice. I also didn't realize the like cash back percentage at Home Depot. That's like 5% seems like a pretty good amount.
Yeah, it does.
I'd have to look into that. Because I just use my credit card now, and I get, I can spend those points on anything.
Mm-hmm.
But, which I guess you could maybe at Home Depot. I guess we'd have to look into that.
Another thing, no
Maybe-
annual fees on either of these.
Oh yeah,
So that's nice too.
right. But like maybe we'll have to look into if you could still do the gas thing at Home Depot.
Yeah, that would be
If you
huge.
can
I think.
spend your points on that, because that would be definitely a bit benefit if you're getting 5% there, and then you can get your gas off. That'd be really helpful.
Yeah.
But yeah, because like right now I only get like 1.5% when I buy from there. So
Yeah. I think
might want to do that.
for you and I, it might definitely be worth it. And for me, I almost exclusively go to Home Depot, not really Lowe's. No offense, Lowe's.
Yeah, I have nothing against Lowe's. I go there when it's closer, but I don't know. I mean, I work there. I just have some kind of loyalty to it, I guess.
Yeah, I don't really know why. I just love it.
Yeah.
It's just better.
But
And it's
Lowe's does have the big stretch caulk. That's the only caulking I use. So I go to Lowe's every time just for that.
I don't. Why are you loyal to that brand? Big stretch cock.
It's just really good stuff. No, I've tried like many other brands, and this is the best one.
It doesn't crack.
It doesn't crack ever.
That's
I've
pretty.
never
nice.
had an issue with that, which I definitely have with other brands.
How much more expensive is it?
Maybe a couple bucks. It's
Okay.
more expensive, but not like by a ton.
This probably isn't the most interesting concept to people, but for somebody out there, like, all right, big stretch cock, I'm gonna buy that.
I think they deserve to be heard out. They make a good product.
So the memberships, Lowe's and Home Depot. I'll try to wrap this up pretty soon because we're already 35 minutes in. I don't want an hour show, but so Lowe's doesn't really have a membership. They have like different levels of their card. Like you can, some like credit card companies, they have like the baseline level, and then there's like the platinum card and the gold card and stuff like that. So they have that where different cards, depending on how long you've used them, depending on how much you spend at Lowe's, you can get a higher card and earn better rewards.
But none of them have like an annual fee, though, higher up.
To my knowledge, no. So yeah, that's all they really have as far as membership is tied to their credit card. Now, Home Depot has a separate pro membership, which if you guys go to Home Depot, there's like a whole separate checkout that says pro for like the pro members at Home Depot.
They have some parking spots too.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's pretty nice.
Nice and close.
So I was looking online.
I think I might be a pro, actually. I think I might have done this when I was working at Home Depot, just like when I had nothing
why
to
not?
do. I was just like sitting there on their computer. I think I might have set up an account.
I think you should have. I'm going to do it like tomorrow because I had just always assumed that like there was like a fee tied to it, or you needed like LLC or something. Like anyone could do this. I didn't know that.
But what do you get from it? I don't think I've ever really gotten benefits other than parking close sometimes.
There's like rewards that you can use, almost like cashback, but for Home Depot.
Oh, okay.
Or discounts. So it does have stuff. It's not like massive rewards, but it's still like, if anyone can just sign up for this, and here's some of them. If you spend $2,500 at Home Depot through your pro membership, then after you spend $2,500, you can get $25 store credit or $50 credit towards a tool rental. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
And here's the big one for me. You get 20% off all paint.
What? Oh.
Yeah, if you're a pro member.
That's pretty good.
That's super good. Because paint can definitely be expensive, and 20% off
Yeah, I
is
just
significant.
bought some paint like not too long ago from there. And I
You
spent,
should have
like,
leaned in on your pro
I
membership.
spent like $150 and I could have gotten 20% off.
Sad.
Yeah. I think I have an account too. I just gotta how do you I think
Apparently, there's
Maybe at the
no
checkout-
barriers to entries. Like,
Well,
you
like,
can just
how do
sign
you-
up.
how do they track it? Do you have to like enter your email at checkout or something?
I've done it before for other people I've worked for. They're like, hey, put in my pro number before. I think you like put it in at the register.
Okay.
Like, even if you're at self-checkout, there's like an option to put in your number. Or
Yeah, I mean, I've been
code
there
or
so many
whatever it
times,
is.
but I can't even remember if there's a page that's
Yeah,
that
I don't
asks for
think it's that hard.
I'm sure there's an easy way to do it.
So yeah, I'm gonna sign up for it.
Cool.
Because why not get 20% off paint and $25 back?
20%. That's a good deal.
Oh yeah, it was $2,500. You get $25 store credit, and then there's like levels to that. So the more you spend, the more you get.
Cool.
You get like $5,000, then there's like, I don't know, maybe $50 credit, stuff like that.
Or tool rentals. Do you ever get tool rentals?
Rarely, but every now and then.
Yeah, I've done it a handful of times, but it's nice to have. I mean, get it
And
for
I
free, basically.
think there is some additional perks that I didn't look into if you have the pro membership and the credit card. Like if you tie them together, it's a good combo apparently. And the cons on the Home Depot membership, I didn't really have any. I was like, there's really no risk. Anyone
Right,
can do
yeah.
it. Like,
They're not even
who cares?
checking your credit history or anything,
Yeah,
so it doesn't even matter.
Like, go for it. Well, conclusions. Grant, do you have any conclusions from our extensive research?
I think I might get a card. I mean, it
Nice.
seems like there's really not a lot of drawbacks. I just never taken the time to set one up. That's
I don't
literally
know
all
why I
it is.
didn't
It's
either.
like I just need to take 10 minutes and set up an account.
Well, we'll check in next week if we actually did that.
Okay.
My conclusion is the same. I think I want. I might get a Home Depot credit card. I'm not going to get a Lowe's card because I'm just never going to go there. Sorry, Lowe's.
Yeah, I
But,
just don't go there frequently.
I'm definitely going to sign up for the Home Depot Pro membership. And just in general, if you're running a business and don't have a credit card, you're crazy.
I also
So
think
you definitely should get one,
This
even
is
if it's not these.
yeah, this is a dumb drawback, but I also like my phone carries like 3 cards, so it's already full.
Oh my
I don't want
gosh.
to carry around 2 other ones.
Just get a wallet.
Yeah.
What a
I think-
silly complaint.
No, it's stupid, but
What do you got in there? Your ID and 2 credit cards?
yeah, my debit and my credit.
Wow. You're going to have to get past that.
I'm thinking I'm gonna have to buy a wallet, I guess.
But you got to get credit card rewards. Like, it's just free money. Like me.
Oh yeah, regardless of just any credit card is definitely worth it.
I took Kylie out to dinner a while back purely off of $100 I got from my business card. So just free money.
Yeah, I used it just for like Amazon purchases. I almost never pay for Amazon or stuff I buy from Amazon. I just use my points.
What?
Or just get, gift cards with my points and then.
You get that many points? That's crazy.
Well, I mean, it's, over a while, but I don't shop
Wow.
on Amazon that often, so.
All right. Do what Grant does. All right. I had a thing I wanted to show from another podcast, but I'm going to skip it because we're so deep into this. So let's move on to the final question.
Okay.
Are you ready, Grant?
I'm ready.
Final question this week. Have you ever ruined somebody's house on the job?
Oh,
Like
I hope not.
flooding, fire? Like, have you ever done anything like really bad? You're like, wow, I have a lot of cleanup to do.
Well, I have nothing horrible. And it wasn't really like a client's house. It was just when we were doing the flip houses.
Mm-hmm.
I like flooded an entire bathroom one time.
Oh, how'd you do that?
Well, I was installing angle valves and under the sinks and stuff,
Yeah.
and I forgot to shut one off before I turned the water back on.
Oh,
So one of them
no.
was just fully open and just spraying cold water right into the sink or like under the sink, and then it
Yeah.
was just pouring out of the cabinet onto the floor. It was probably 2 inches of water,
Oh gosh.
And it was only
That's terrible.
maybe a minute at the most, because I went upstairs and I was checking all the sinks, and I got to that one at some point. It probably wasn't more than a minute, but it was like 2 inches of water. It was a small bathroom, but it filled up so fast.
Yeah, it does. If you don't make sure those are closed, it's a disaster real
It's
quick.
crazy how fast water can just take over a room just from.
Yep.
I just guess there's just a lot of water pressure, but it could have been way worse. Luckily, I caught it pretty quick.
I did the exact same thing. I was working on a condominium, so it was bad because it wasn't just a house where like the shut off is near. I had to go downstairs,
Oh.
then I had to go on the other side of the building to shut off the water.
Yeah.
So it was like pretty far from where I was working. I was installing a valve and for a washing machine, changing out the hot and cold valves. And I left the cold valve on, and I installed them, went to go flip the water back on, and I get up there and there's water all over the washer. Oh, no. And luckily it was like I just had it open, so I could just close it right there. But oh my goodness, I spent like an hour and a half cleaning it all up.
Yeah, that was the worst part. Like, it didn't do that much damage, but I had to like sit there with a towel wringing it out over and over
yeah.
again for way too long.
Luckily, the clients weren't home. They actually had me do it while they
That's
were
good.
gone. So it's like that was nice. That would have been very embarrassing and scary. Well, I think that wraps it up for our episode today. Grant, you have any more comments?
No, I think that was a pretty good one.
All right. Well, leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And
We're on YouTube now, right?
yeah, I just got us on
YouTube.
YouTube. So that was nice. Yeah, just spread the word. Just send a link to your buddy with no context and just,
Yeah,
maybe he'll enjoy it.
get it around there.
Well, we will see you all next Monday.
Bye.